Coolio. Hello, Mr. Fort. Hey, Coolio. How's it going? How is your day? Runner Bean. Hello, Mr. Foros. Hello, Kula. Nice. Doing good. I was able to turn on the 3D printer. Haven't printed anything yet. We'll continue calibrating after work. Nice. Sounds like you're on the right track. But you got it all assembled, it sounds like. Doing good. Were you able to get the S price? No, I went to bed after. I went to bed after all that. I didn't stay up. Hope I can start printing something later. That would be exciting. Do you have any plans on what you're gonna be printing? I'm excited to see it. I'm excited to see it. Maybe you can post it on. Maybe you can post whatever you're gonna do on Discord so I can see kind of where you're gonna be at or what that's gonna look like. It'd be really cool to like print armor or something. You know what I mean? Using a 3D printer to like print up some armor for yourself. Not at the moment, just 3D benchy for testing purposes. Benchy for test. Gotcha, gotcha. Just like a brick that will test the limits. That makes sense. The guy I was watching printed a 5-hour project and I noped out of it. Printed a 5-hour project. I gotta work on calibration first. Yeah. I wonder how often you gotta recalibrate it. I'm assuming you're doing it like kind of manually, so you gotta like probably do it every couple prints maybe, like kind of readjust the calibration, make sure it's not going out of alignment. Do I hear a doorbell? Maybe in the music. Maybe in the music. You just gotta press a series of buttons, but I won't be able to do it yesterday. I wasn't able to do it because I'm getting an error as the init fail, which I'm not sure I have to be concerned about. It didn't, I think. What piece of 12 are you on now again? 5. What's this music from? It's from this music is from Cyberpunk. This music is from Cyberpunk. Replies to Coolio, chill girl, chill girl, chill girl. Oh, it's really helping me sketch. The chill girl. I was about to say, I didn't realize that's how you spawn, emotes. It translates into words.
Arasaka, the finest in personal and commercial weaponry. Rail.
I heard today that they're going to be making another they're already working on the next Backrooms movie. And if anyone's been on Instagram today, you'll notice that every single meme, I mean, maybe it's the ones I've been liking and sending, so maybe the algorithm is giving it to me extra, but every single thing on Instagram has been about the Backrooms. I really hope that it becomes, like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm really into it. It's almost like, it's almost on par like with like when I discovered like Silent Hill or something. Like, it's on par with that level of like excitement.
The finest in personal and commercial weaponry.
Just love what's happening with it. Love it. So, it's my thought. I know. Well, I don't want to say it. You guys go watch it and form your own opinion. I'll talk about it in like a few months. I'll start running my. Are you really into it? Sorry. Oh, the Backrooms. They're making the next one already. It's already in the works. I'm just happy that the thing I wanted exists. Like, I wanted it to be more. Like, I remember seeing those videos and I'm like, man, it'd be really cool if this was like, if they developed this idea. And then they did. And it was good. The people that are going around saying that it's okay should not be trusted with anything. They shouldn't be trusted with a plastic fork. I'm just kidding. Augustus, welcome. How's it going? You missed last night's gaming stream when I was developing my game. I was doing artwork. First Transit, good morning, my guy. Welcome. Julio says hello, Augustus. Runner Bean says hi, Augie. Hello, all. Nice. Nice. Hi, Transit. He streamed twice yesterday, my dudes. I know I was there at night too. Lurking. Prowling in the shadows. What the? I was thinking about changing my room here to the back room setting. I guess the only thing that was weird, not weird, but the only thing that was kind of like a little strange is that like everyone else who went to see the movie was like 12. They were like teens. And like the other weird thing is like I forgot how small teenagers are. Like they were like kids. Like I remember when I was a teen and I remember being like feeling small. And like these like teenagers, like they are tiny. Like I'm not even that big. Like they're like small, kind of small. I don't know if they're gonna get bigger or they need some milk. The ones that came out to see this movie were definitely like the more indoor, like the indoor kind. You can tell like their skin is nearly translucent. The only light they get is from the blue hue from their phone. So, what's the most widely accepted conspiracy theory about backrooms? Is that it's real? I don't know. I I don't think there's a conspiracy theory about it. I just like it. I just really like the core concept. That's me though. I liked it back when it was like little videos on YouTube. Like I was digging it then. I was always like looking around for like the new for a new backrooms video. I like the vibe personally. To me, it's kind of like in the same realm as like Silent Hill 2, basically like that whole idea that you could come across a town somewhere that's like that and has like all this weird stuff happening. It's kind of in the same sort of general vicinity of coolness, you know. I was always the weird one, 6'1" at 12 years old. Now I wasn't like super tall early on, but I wasn't short, but I'm just saying it just, yeah, I don't know. It seems like this last batch of teenagers they came out with are kind of short. Kind of like, they're not tall. Not short, but, you know. I remember thinking a few years ago that, like, a lot of the 13-year-olds you see were, like, kind of crazy tall. Like, when I would go to, like, a rural, hardware department store or something. And I was like, yo, these kids are getting crazy. They're all, like, 6-something. You know what I mean? Like, what are they feeding these new kids? But then, like, these ones were kind of smaller in the stature. I thought I was gonna get patched out. I thought I was gonna like get patched out of the equation. Like 6'1", 6'2" was gonna be like the new 5'9", but it looks like we're good. Runner Bean, you're almost 6 feet. Runner Bean says I'm 5'11". Maybe what you mean is that they are lanky, needs more nutrition. I can't say I'm tall, but I am part of the above average apes locally, but genetically we are small compared to international standards. Or maybe it's just perception. Adults see teens as small people anyway. True. Once when I was 25, I went out drinking with a basketball team. It was insane seeing guys who were 7 feet tall. Dude, that's crazy to get mogged by height at 6'4". That's crazy. I've seen too. I've seen like what like clearly was a basketball player. Had to have been like very athletic, very tall, like tall to where like I felt like a tiny, like a child. You know what I mean? Like a little child. So I think this device in his hands would be the same color as his armor. I think. If I'm guessing that correctly. Friend is 4 foot something, and at the ramen place we saw people much younger than us, but they are towering over us, around 6 to 7 feet, I guess. We look like gremlins next to them. Feels like poverty. Yeah, like that's how I felt like looking at those kids from like the farms. The way they make them in the rural areas, like the farm kids, like they are crazy big now. And that's kind of where you see all of the, like, really, I feel like that's where you see the dudes that are, like, crazy big and crazy tall, is like the rural farming kind of folk. They crawl out of the woods to go to buy new tools, ratchet sets, you know, whatever they need to fix up their, like, little farm, their Stardew Valley or whatever they're doing over there. And they are quite large. Quite large they are. We're also getting to that part of the year now that I'm noticing the grass is like turning brown. There's like too much sun out there and heat. So like everything's just slowly turning brown basically. So I don't have to mow every single day. For a little bit there I had to mow like every other day, it seemed like, to keep the grass down. Now it's like actually like once or twice a week. It finally like slowed down because like the rain stopped it hasn't been raining as much, and the heat has gone up a little bit, so it's like it's just burning out the grass now, which is sort of like nice from the standpoint that I don't have to be out there every 2 seconds. Is it me or your description of spring feels like summer to us? Uh no, we had a really nice like spring, I feel like. We're now what, in June, right? Or yeah, it's June now. Like we're in summer now. Like for surezies. And spring was really nice. I mean, I imagine that the Philippines is like kind of brutal. Like as soon as it's not winter, it's already brutal. I would like to go there and see just how bad it is. Like, is it really coming from a country that has perpetual summers? Right. Yeah, no, I mean, it may not be that bad, like, as bad as I think. It just, I did really enjoy the weather this year. Even though it's ending and it's getting like kind of hot, I still thank God for what was given to me. Those like 2 months where it was actually kind of like tolerable and not oppressively hot. I still, because it could have been worse. So I can't not thank for what was given, because it could have been just bad. Usually after winter you get like a week or two and then it gets super bad. After 12 years without winter, it's been cold nonstop since May 5th. What do you mean? You said cold by like your standards, right? Not real cold. But that's kind of cool. It's like it seems like it's shifting because it was hot in Europe. I was being told, but it was nice here. So maybe it's like it's gonna flip. Maybe you guys will get the more extreme weather. I found out through a Instagram post today that apparently in Germany there's more castles than the United States has McDonald's. Now, to be fair, they're not like all functional castles. Some, you know, it's like between like ruins and like full castles over the. How long were the Middle Ages, by the way? How many years did they have to build that many castles? You know what I mean? Like, that seemed like it went on for a little bit, like a while. But anyway, apparently there's more castles in Germany than there is McDonald's in the US, which I would have not. To be fair, I want to be fair, that I wonder if they're comparing currently functioning business McDonald's. It wasn't 700 years? Okay, that makes sense. Because it was like 10,000 castles or so, like something crazy. So that like makes sense, like. That's still a lot, though. This, if I think I was, I don't want to look it up, but it was like a number that was like it doesn't like you try to do the math in your head and like how much resources that would take, and it's like that seems like everyone would have had to be building castles all the time to get that going. But yeah, they did work back then. It would have been cool to spend like a weekend in the Middle Ages. You know? But this is just an example of what I told you. It was very opposite to live in Europe between 6th and 13th centuries. 200 battles a year. Absurd invasions. Well, if you're like in a castle and if you're like a rich guy in a castle, it'd be pretty dope. Like if you're like scrawny, but you're part of a rich family and you just kind of hang out and learn to be a scribe and stuff, that's got to be pretty cool. I heard back then, like if you were poor, you would maybe give your kid up for like to some guild to train the kid, but you'd give them up as like sort of an indentured servant that would like work for them, but learn a trade, which would have been sort of cool, you know. Um, June is the start of summer in the U.S., so it was tail end of spring last week. Gotcha. Well, you know what? I think we got a really fair we got a really fair spring. Like it was I just usually it's never this good for that long, you know. Outside of like 2 weeks after winter, it just gets like you see like fire tornadoes out there. I hear about forest fires in the US summers usually. Forest fires in the US. That's real. That's a real thing. You know, we it's a thing. But to be fair, I think like a lot of that is mismanagement. Like if they don't clean the brush, like I mean they do happen regardless, but good management of the land prevents a lot of that stuff. Not to speak on it like I'm an expert, but you guys get the idea. People who are hardcore, normally you spend your days doing hard farm work and praying to be able to fulfill your quotas to the Lord. Yeah, I think like the Lord should take a percentage, a progressive tax system. I don't know. I think I think a percentage works better. I think saying you got to give me this, like you just got to pull this out of your butt every year. Like you don't know how the harvest is gonna go. What the? Uh, I believe in the percentage system. I mean, we got those too, but it's super rare, or usually some form of accident. Oh, forest fires? Yeah, I would have thought like the Philippines, like I imagine it's like wet or like it's just perpetually wet. You know what I mean? From the rains and like I know it's hot, but like I imagine it being kind of like more like jungle style environment. So I imagine like it's always like too wet to like light up randomly have a spontaneous like Belarus has a lot of forest fires, but for instance, but Belarus has a lot of moats, and in the summer the moats they like dry up and you have like these sort of caved in kind of like moat brush that sits at the bottom of the forest, and it gets super hot there. For like somehow, some way, it gets super hot, and they just spontaneously combust into like fires. So they get a lot of forest fires that way. When the moats dry up, I guess the regular forests are less likely to do it. Also, people like throwing their cigarettes out the window and stuff like that. Generally, the quota was about 1/3 of what you produce plus best animals you could raise, and then, believe it or not, 3 to 4 months of vacation. That is another thing. But was vacation like? Does that mean you go to a war party and do a siege and your neighbor? Like, I don't know what they mean by vacation, but back then, I know they say that like people worked a lot less back then because of the seasonal kind of nature of their work, which would be nice. I'll admit. I think humans are designed to like work, and then you have like your off season where you kind of have like I don't know. I think only having 2 days off a week is like for the rest of your life until you retire is like kind of like crazy town. Let's blame mass production for that. Yeah, I mean, I guess it's easier not to live now, but it's like, but you know, I would rather just like not have that, but also let work last. I need time to ponder things. I don't know. I'm not into just like working 60 hours a week. 3 to 4 months of free time in winter. People usually use this time to build a church, a mill, roads, and other improvements. Right, I believe that. That makes sense. But I heard that they were. I heard that they were. Like it wasn't like that. Sorry guys, had a business, business. There's 4 months of free time over winter. Yeah, I think they took that time. They had to take. Someone had to be taking time off. I don't believe that they were like working, and then like they need time off. That's what I believe. I'm not buying into they worked in the winter. Gluten Day, nice. Welcome visually, Gluten Day. Visually, today I found out that in Germany there's more castles than there are McDonald's in the United States. I learned that today via Instagram. Guess you gotta be careful not to trip over one if there's like that many. I mean, there's like a lot of them. That's possible. I've always wanted to like shoot arrows off a castle tower, see how hard it is to shoot at targets. As I always say, everything is determined by the sun and the weather. So in times of good weather, many harvests, and the lords use gold and silver to hire foreigner mason contractors to build castles and bridges. Didn't somebody, you know how they say they hired, like I'm sure someone had to hire somebody, but doesn't it seem like someone would just have the people that they needed, like, and they would develop, they just had the masons, right? I think if I was if I had to live a life in the Middle Ages, I would strive to be a stonemason. That seems like it would be right up my alley, and I would avoid having to go to like whatever, like, well, every other job that's available back then. Because I can't read, so that's, can't be a priest. Feel a bit drained. I broke my fast today. I had been water fasting for 8 days. Really? How do you feel? What did you eat? What was the first meal you ate? And how do you feel? 8 days, that's crazy. I lost 14 kilograms? That makes sense, yeah. Just water fasting? Or did you, like, food and water? Julio asks, who was fasting and why? Visually on YouTube. He's on the YouTube side. Feels good? Nice. Only water? Okay. Oh, I see. I see. Yeah. That is very good. 8 days is, that's a lot, man. But... the nice thing, too, about fasting is that, like, the speed at which you lose weight is maximal. Like, you're maxing out how fast you can lose weight, for sure. Yesterday we found my neighbor dead in his apartment. He had been lying there for over a week and was already badly decomposed. Wow. Was that the smell that made you find out? I've heard of that. So he was like living alone, huh? That's crazy. That is surreal, yeah. Please be careful, my dude. Take it easy. Yeah, man. Sounds like he was living alone or something. That's sad. I mean, I live alone, but... my apartment smells like a corpse. I bought air fresheners today. Right, yeah. I hope it wasn't a crime. No. Jesus Brokeback says, damn, that's crazy. Yeah. No, I mean, that's what happens, right? Like, someone lives alone eventually, right? I don't want to go like that. It makes it harder for family members to clean. Oh man, yeah. True. Well, I do the family members have to clean, or doesn't the government come out and do it? He has given up on himself? Right. Wow. Now he has a new chance. But he doesn't, right? He's dead. Unless you mean like metaphorically in the next life kind of thing. I just hope that if I feel myself like dying, I can go. Well, I can go into the backyard and lay there. That way, I don't ruin the house for the next person. They're still gonna have to like change out. They're still gonna have to do some fixing up in. But I'm saying it's not gonna smell like a corpse. The entire apartment was completely trashed. Well, oh, it's one of those. Gotcha. Some government guys will do that to check if it's foul play. Yeah, they have to have a hazmat team come in there, right? Like it's not a family event to like go clean that up. That's like the special company that gets hired by the government probably. Like if it was a single person that nobody knew. But he never wanted help. Yeah. That's really sad. Maybe like he needed a friend or something, right? But he didn't. Sounds like he didn't want friends. So, my dude's in the U.S. You need to call someone just to dig soil, just to make sure you're not putting. You need to call someone just to dig soil, just to make sure you're not putting bodies there. Well, I mean, I know people like when you're allowed to like bury your dog in your backyard and stuff. Like you don't have to have a special anything. Like you just go out there and. If you know for a fact you're not going to hit a gas pipe or something, you can just go dig a hole for that. Make sure you're not putting... But I don't think it's not a... As far as I know, it's not a bodies related thing. It's more like pipes. They don't want you to hit a pipe. And you just have to call them and they'll come out and put little flags down where there's, registered pipe work or electric wires or something like that going through. They just don't want you to be turning it into a a $10,000 problem for them. Remember, you're a 6-foot man? Yeah. Well, that doesn't change anything, right? Anyway, give me 1 second, I'll be right back. I think the law applies the same to 6 feet tall people, though. Like, you're still allowed to, I could be wrong, but I think the law applies the same to tall people. Not that I'm really not that 6 foot isn't really that tall in the United States anymore. But I like my height just because I live my life comfortably, but not short, but comfortably. This is why the secret is to have graves pre-dug. Only in case. True, yeah. True, yeah. I should have my grave like in my backyard ready to go, right? I just crawl in there, close the door, and yeah, secret is to have pre-dug. Yep, only in case. If you're digging your own grave at an old age, then you might die in the effort. True. True, it's a good way. It's a good last project if you can time it right. It's a great like last project if you can just time it right. Guys, give me 1 second. I'll be right back. I just wanted to get food. Like, I wanted to get food ready. I'll probably donate myself to a medical school. You know what my fear is? You know what my fear is? Tell me if you get. You guys. Tell me if you think I'm crazy. Tell me if you think I'm crazy. And you know how you can put on your license that you're an organ donor? I feel like, I don't know. I just kind of have like this internal sense that they're gonna look at that and be like, okay, we can spend the next 36 hours putting this guy back together, right? That was like an automobile incident. Or there's $800,000 worth of parts that are still good. And if we do spend the next 36 hours saving him, there's like a 15% chance he'll survive. Or if we start taking it apart now, taking the body apart now, we can get $800,000 out of it, or whatever, you know. I'm just saying, like, putting somewhere illegally that you're willing to donate your body is like, I just feel like, I'm not saying the world is full of vultures. It's my own internal fear and paranoia. I understand that. It's probably not true. That's not how it works at all. I'm just saying I have an internal fear that is how it works. Anyway, that out of the way. We had this movie here where a client prepaid his casket, but the company is about to close, so he was forced to take the casket home. That was weird. That would be weird. I don't recommend it. Why not? Because you live in a terribly evil world, and crazy things happen. For example, this sick guy would be perfect for our research. It would be terrible if something were to happen to him. Well, I don't think they would like go to your house and kill you. I don't think that would happen. But I think if you're in an operating table and they kind of weigh the options and they're like, I don't know. I don't know. I have no proof of that. That's just I would rather keep that off of keep that option out of their like off of the table. Please save me. Unless I'm not gonna look as good, then just let me die. No, I'm just kidding. My phone died. Just restarted. Nice. Guys, tell me if you think I'm crazy. I don't know. Am I the only one that thinks like this? We have. I want to ask how many miniatures had you paint? Had I already painted in my life, or in the set, or do I have left? Oliver. What name origin is that? Is that an English name, Oliver? Oliver? Something my fan says sup. Saw Backrooms. Oh my god. Yeah, and what did you think? What did you think? And the answer has to be that you loved it. If it's not that, then you're just wrong not to have not liked it. What did you think? I need to know what you thought. Ooh, Augusta says, I know this because it happened in my family. Ooh. I believe it can happen. I'm just saying I don't think that's like something I would worry about. Oh, really? What happened? Yeah, now I want to know about that story too. Once they heard that you have a donor card, the hospital will loom over you, waiting for you to hit the sack so they can gather your organs. Bro, like, no. You leave the hospital and there's a black car with tinted windows following you. Like once they find out, they're just watching you, and then you notice like there's pigeons outside your house with like black like sunglasses, like smoking a cigarette. It's like, what's up, man? How you feeling today? Why don't you get on that motorcycle and go really fast around that corner? You want some alcohol before you go? Just kidding. It was alright. No. Actually, the immersion of the movie was probably messed up by the audience. Oh yeah, I had annoying ass teens. That's the problem with that movie is everyone that went except for me. I think I must have been like one of the older people there. Everyone was like 12 to 16 to 18. People were talking in front and behind me. I was okay. The movie was loud enough, but I'm able to tune out things. But I'm just saying it could have been definitely. I need to rewatch. But I really loved it. Loved it. What are your, you have any, I had people eating popcorn and coughing loudly during the quiet parts. Okay, to be fair, I chew with my mouth closed. I do chew like a normal civilized person. I close my mouth and I chew it because I understand how sound works. Oh my god. What the? It doesn't say who it was. It just says 5 out of 10. I'm assuming it's Coolio. Was it Coolio? Coolio, thank you, man. Thank you, appreciate the gifted sub. 93, man. You're doing too much. You're doing too much. People eating it. I missed a few minutes of it. Man. I love the Vivarium. I love SCP. I love Backrooms. I love Silent Hill 2. Everything that's like that, in that kind of like weird, everything that's like weird like that, like weird psychological horror. I dig it, man. I dig it. I gotta read Augustus's. My father caught pneumonia, was hospitalized, improved, recovered, arrived there on the day of his discharge. He was in the ICU. They sent me to talk to a doctor who spent half an hour explaining the importance of tissue donation, and he died 3 hours later. I found it very strange. I became suspicious and met a guy who spent 20 years studying the subject, and I discovered hell on earth. You think, hold on. Hospital is improved, recovered, arrived there on the day of his discharge. But he was already discharged if he left, right? On the day of his... Oh, you arrived! Oh my god, sorry. You arrived. Arrived there on the day of his discharge. He was in the ICU. They... Okay, so... You were saying he recovered according to them, or your father told you that? I just want to get the story clear. Your father told you, hey, I feel better, come and get me? And then you just had to sign off on it, and then he died 3 hours later while the doctor was bamboozling you, or... The importance of tissue donation. I don't... So far it doesn't seem... You know what I mean? Like, I think there are people in hospital who get paid to kill people so they can donate organs and tissues. That's... I mean... Like, it's not impossible... It's it's not that I don't think that could happen, I just think that, like, I don't want to say it on stream. Even if that's true, for the sake of my, just not to be like, because then somebody will clip what I'm saying and be like, he thinks hospitals murder people and donate, or I'm just saying that could, I think that happens, like, not that it's never happened, because there is bad stuff out there. I'm just saying, like, that's probably super rare, but with a big but, I wouldn't put organ donor on my license. I had people eating popcorn. I got there when a guy was running around in a hazmat suit. The title Backrooms popped up. Did I miss anything important? No, the very opening scene was basically like one of those internet YouTube videos. It's a guy... Did you see the seagull? Did you see the seagull? That kind of ties in. You didn't miss anything super important. It's just that the way they opened it up, and the movie circles around to the opening shot. Augusta says this has been proven. There are thousands and thousands of confirmed cases. Interesting. Yeah, I've never looked into it. I assume, like in America, our local hospital doesn't take people apart for money on their regular basis. At least that's what I'm gonna let myself believe, because like that's pretty hardcore. They're gonna mishandle you for the organs anyway. Yeah, I don't know, man. That's pretty rough. I hope not. But... Especially like if you're 18, non-smoker, bro. You better watch your liver. You better not be falling asleep inside of a hospital, bro. Maybe that's why they keep the. Maybe that's why they let like 18-year-olds get a 1,000cc motorcycle, because they know, like, just statistically, it's just like, I know jokingly they call them organ donors in hospitals just because of how often you get just splattered on those things, but it's like, that's the things, I don't think they have to. They just literally have to keep motorcycle riding legal. The music kept getting louder. Ensure that changing the subject, don't trust humans. Well, that's true. Yeah, like, you gotta be careful with that, but... Hospitals shake hands with motorcycle company, bro. So true. I mean, 100%, bro. 100%. That is that is steady supply of organs coming from those guys. I know. I rode motorcycles. Like, it takes but a moment of distraction to become one with the road. So did the backrooms take things from the outside world and make bad copies of them? I think the movie wisely left a lot for interpretation. It made a giant version of Clark. So I think they put together, like, okay, so he wanted to be an architect and he gets stuck in an architectural nightmare, and he wanted to be a psychiatrist and whatever. Yeah, it looks like it kind of, like, it created the pirate clearly based off of his alter ego, and he hated his life of having to be the goofy pirate, right? And the goofy pirate killed him when she was trying to change him. Remember, he was like, "Oh." By the way, guys, spoilers alert. I'm going to be talking about the movie now. I wonder how much was actual real life movie set versus CGI. Would be crazy to run. They built if you look into it, they built a lot of the sets. I don't know. I'm sure there was some CGI, like there had to have been, right? When they show you that big tunnel that falls down when she's on that staircase. I think that was CGI, but, like, outside of that, like, everything was, like, real sets, from what I've seen on YouTube. So obviously the pirate was his alter ego. He hated his life. That's why it created that. Like, in a sense, yeah. Like, but it does seem like the backrooms isn't like a random variable generator. It's not like if you're a nice person, it creates, like, bunnies, and if you hate your life, it creates a demon that kills you. It seems like it always leans more towards, like, bad things will happen if you hang around there too long. Also, the interesting thing is he did take the chair out, the stool. He took the stool out into the real world. Let's call it that. And so, to me, that means the entities could, in theory, come out. It would be crazy to run around in there. You can run around in there. There's games on Steam that are dedicated to this premise. They're called The Backrooms Escape Together. Very good, by the way. Very scary. And I highly recommend it. But yeah, it's man, I just loved it. But yeah, I can't. It's getting a little faded in my mind. I need to like rewatch the movie real quick if I could. But I just love the weirdness of it. I love and like the metaphors. Like I guess she turned into like, remember there was that woman and the guy with the lamp, and they seemed like they were like bad copies of, because he kind of explains, but when Clark is explaining his theory about the world, I still feel like that was up for interpretation, because that's just what he thought it was. Like he thought the place had bad memory. It was a bad memory regenerator, right? But I think a lot of the movie is very up for interpretation, and I don't think the world is very like locked in lore wise. I think they left it open wisely because they're gonna make a second movie, and I think if they had definitively said this is what it is, then it gets harder and harder as you make future movies. Clark's acting was pretty good. I thought that the scene where they're sitting in the kitchen and he is explaining to her stuff, and then he kind of goes into her doing, acting like she's his wife and reenacting that. That's when I'm like, oh, he's gonna murder her in this room, and that's when it kind of got terrifying. I was like, and then it was like the two entities that were there just standing in the corners. That whole scene felt like almost like Quentin Tarantino level of intensity, like during a conversation, like when, you know what I mean, like. It's like, you know, things are going to like not be good in a few minutes here, but we're gonna play along, and he's like really good at making those kind of like scenarios, and like this movie did that. I thought like that whole kitchen, people were made of rice or something. They were made of like, it looked like it was like it looked like it was cotton candy, like cotton, like when he took a chunk out of him. It looked like it was cotton candy or something. Like, it looked like it was like pillow stuffing or something. At least that's how I took it. I couldn't tell exactly. I don't think you were supposed to be able to tell exactly what it was. I think it was supposed to be kind of like left up for interpretation. That's what that's, they wanted you to kind of be like ew. He said the best part is you can eat. Oh, so it must have been food. Yeah, it must have been some kind of food. I forgot he did say that. He did say that. That's fair. Yeah, I'm just surprised you're saying it's okay. Maybe to me, it's like the thing that's interesting about a movie like that is the core like concept, the weirdness of it, more so than like it being the creatures being cool. Like a lot of people didn't like the pirate, which I kind of get. I thought the string entity or whatever was more cool, but I get why they narratively went with like a thing that replicated. It made a copy of him, and it was a metaphor for him not being able to move on with his life, and that's what ended. That like the thing, the pirate being the metaphor for his life is like the thing that didn't let him move forward in life, and that's the thing that ended his life, his fear, right? Like cool metaphors. So for me, all of that worked. I think the audience spoiled it for me. Yeah, I think it's the... Also, I think the backrooms, like... Or a movie like that, I feel like, yeah, you gotta be in a room where it's being respected. If there's like a bunch of kids, which I had, like a bunch of teenagers like laughing, it does kind of kill that momentum you get. Because like the creepiness of the back rooms, I'm sure you've been in a liminal space, like some abandoned gas station that's still lit up, like that. That feeling you get from those places only comes in from you being alone and in a weird spot, right? If there's people laughing, all of that goes away immediately. So like it never has the momentum to build up to something in your mind. That's kind of how I take it. If I had gone on a day with less people in the cinema, I would have enjoyed it more. Yeah, yeah, you would have because it's like that's liminal spaces work off of your own mind messing with you. So that's kind of like you just can't watch it around noisy as teens kind of talking during the movie. But I was still able to enjoy playing it. Like I still enjoyed it. Momentum is killed with people coughing loudly. Yeah. You know, I need to watch Obsession because I've been hearing good things about that one. My gut feeling was actually not to see it today as well, but I wanted to see it to get it out of the way. Oh man, I got you, I got you. I don't blame you. I want to now. I kind of want to see Obsession because I've been hearing good things from a bunch of people about it. Although from the little bit of the trailer I saw, it looked like a boyfriend girlfriend drama, so I'm like, eh. That's what turned me off. Is like I was watching part of that trailer you showed or that I looked up, and it kind of looked like a boy girl drama a little bit. And I'm like, oh no, this is like it kind of smelled like a movie I wouldn't be interested in. I would say Obsession is way better than. Wow. Wow. I don't know, man. I like this. I like Backrooms. At least I like the core concept of it, right? Like, I don't know. Maybe Obsession is a better movie, like, pound for pound on the stage. I'm just saying, like, I doubt Obsession is a better, like, concept. Like, its core concept is going to be more boring to me. Because it kind of looked like it was, like, I was watching a trailer and, like, I felt like I kind of already got the idea, and I'm like, well, I don't know. It looks like a typical boy meets girl, one becomes obsessed with the other. You know how people get stalked? You guys ever think like both people could be stalking each other? Like they both become obsessed and they both start just stalking each other, and it like works out because they're both like into it. Like no one freaks out. They're just like, oh, actually, you know what? I was stalking you too though. Like. What annoyed me was every time I tried to get invested in the back rooms, when Clark is walking around, you hear the rough carpet under his feet creating ambience. Then some idiot coughs loudly. I don't remember hearing the carpet sound under his feet. Maybe that's the British edited version. Maybe your guys' carpets are louder, so they had to add in like more carpet sound to compensate for like England's carpets. And all the attention is undone because of one dumbass. Yeah, I do. I hate when people like people should not be allowed to cough when they're in the movie. At least they should like be wearing a mask or something that like blocks their ability to make noise. Misery, welcome. Good morning, guys. Morning. We're just talking about the back rooms. How much I love that movie. I will say, like, the one thing I kind of really wanted and I didn't get was, like, I wanted there to be a scene where she's, like, running. Or, like, you know, when they do that whole montage of, like, when he's sort of going through and seeing all the different versions of it, I was hoping that they would do kind of like a room where like there's crazy geometry, right? Like it really opens up, like that the world is like small, but like also some of them are big, and it goes on for like forever. I was kind of hoping for a little bit of that to hit, but it never like did. Everything was very claustrophobic for the most part, which is fine. But I was kind of hoping that they would show like there's a bigger thing to all of this, like it opens up into like big spaces and goes on forever and ever. Hi, Slipknot. Hi, hi. Nice. I don't understand these human interactions. They are compatible with each other. Nice. I'm drawing today. Anyone else working and lurking? Maybe because I went in blind and it was also unfamiliar with the backrooms, it didn't have the same impression on me as it would for longtime fans, because I wouldn't understand or notice the Easter eggs. The movie was a mix of Blair Witch Project and The Shining. I only watched it once online, a fan but not obsessed. Yeah, I like the backrooms, but I think I would say I liked the movie. Like it was not a neutral like, oh, whatever. Like I'm looking forward to more content from these people. Yazmad 333 gives me 3 cats. Thank you. I've seen some McDonald's parody. Yes. I have seen the McDonald's parody. They have. Was it McDonald's doing that, or who owns the backrooms? Like, does everyone own the backrooms now? Like, anyone can make commercials and memes about it in movies, or I think they brought that kid in. I think they brought the kid in that did the original clips of it in order to be able to have like a legal kind of precedence for saying it's theirs. If that makes sense. In real life, I suppose those videos of the endless underground room. In real life, I suppose those videos of endless underground rooms are just one of 30,000 outdated bunkers. Well, I don't know. I think like, I mean, those videos are mostly fake though. Like they're done in Blender. I just put a filter on there and make it look realistic. Not saying that like for the movie they built out rooms. They built out rooms for the movie, but the most interesting part were the scientists, but you didn't get to see much of them. Well, you see them in the beginning and then the end, yeah. But they are an integral part of that universe, yeah. Phil said his company made MRI machines before the doors started appearing. Does that mean the technology his company experimented with created the doors portals? That's what I assume, because that's what it sounded like, is like they accidentally broke reality somehow and started opening portals via their technology. And then once they did that, now they had to like investigate and keep an eye on it, and they're trying to find all the doors that are opening. It's kind of what it sounds like. It sounds like their technology had done something to kind of facilitate with that. Most likely it's in 3D, then added filters to mimic the video. Yeah. I know that most of the videos where they're doing the backroom walkthroughs, those are done in Blender, or at least the kid did them in Blender originally. That was really interesting. Oh, like they created they may have opened up the opportunity to go in there through like some broken science, like some science experiment gone wrong, like started opening alternate realities. told you about the Disney documentary. This world has lots of crazy stuff. A bunker with underground parking for 20 submarines and complete accommodations for 10,000 people. A bunker. Oh, wait. Were you talking about that? Was that the Soviet one? Or I believe stuff like that exists. I'm sure there's like big project. I mean, there's missile silos you can buy from the United States government that have been retired in like Nevada or something, that are like the size of like a small town down there. You know what I mean? Like you can settle like hundreds of people to live there if you wanted to do all that work and push air down there and all that stuff. But that is real. Like there's been really big projects that the government just kind of, when they're done with it, they either sell it off or just sometimes they never even, if it's secret, they probably never posted up that it existed or something. But I'm sure stuff like that exists. Bought a PS3 again. A PlayStation 3, nice. What for? Just like the old games you got, or? You got some old games to go back to? I mean, I know it's PS3 is not that old, but some really cool games. already come out on the PS3. Yeah, that's true. I kind of wish I kept my 360 for nostalgia and just to like power it up and my PS1, like PlayStation 1 and my Xbox 360 would have been kind of cool to keep, but I tend to be the kind of person that kind of lets stuff go and I just get rid of stuff eventually. I don't hold on too much. But I think it would have been cooler for like a PS1 because it didn't take up that much room really. New scary movie has a joke about the backrooms. I haven't watched the video yet. There must be a lot of horror movies they're gonna spoof. They have a ton of material now. That game, Hail to the Rainbow, had a backroom section in that game. I heard people say PS2 is the best console ever. I think if you take it I think if you put PS2 in the context of its time, if you see the PS2 through the lens of its time, I think you could make that argument. Primarily for Resistance series. Ah, I see. I never played it, but I know what you're talking about. Like the Catacombs of Paris. That's a bit. I asked a French person what they thought that came from. Like why there's like catacombs with like skulls for miles under France or whatever, Paris or whatever. And they said it was probably a pandemic where a bunch of people died and they had to do something with the bodies. And I'm like, you know what? That makes a lot of sense, actually. That actually, like, makes a lot of sense. That there was, like, some Black Plague kind of situation. They just had to get the bodies somewhere. A fully operational and modernized city, it would be an attempt to survive a modern attack and move forward in an event of a war. PS1 games can be emulated now. That's true, yeah. True. Let me get some water. I'll be right back. To be honest, I don't know what Microsoft is planning to their game department. I think Microsoft largely wants to become Valve, or they want to become Steam. They want to become a platform that sort of is. They want to get off Xbox, and like they want Xbox to be like a software that's on your computer, and then it's on your phone, it's on your console. It's on your television. That they want like the Xbox to be not a gaming console. It's just like a lifestyle. Like it's just like they kind of want it to. They want it to be like they're aiming for it to kind of position it as a something that's above like Valve, which won't happen. But or at least I hope not. I don't want to see Microsoft succeed. To be honest, like I want them to only fail. For reasons I won't go into here, but PS2 is awesome too. It was awesome, yeah. There was an explosion out there. What the? Yeah, I don't have any more consoles. I heard the Valve Steam Deck is gonna go up to $1,000 soon, which is kind of crazy, but I get it. I guess like all these components are going up in price, so it makes sense. It's crazy to think I'm probably gonna have to wait like another 10 years to buy a new computer. Luckily, I have enough computing power to do the things I wish, so I don't have to chase that, but Okay. From my 2:30, guys. I know I've only been on for 2 hours and 30 minutes, but I gotta go take care of some business. That's what that ring was about. I gotta go take care of some. But it might be on later on if I work on the game a little bit. But I gotta go take care of this. It has to do with money. And you know Papa's gotta get paid. So have a great night. Yeah, I might be on you know, around whenever if I have a chance to get on and work on the game, the art on the game a little bit. But I wanna take care of my guy really quick. Peace. Thank you, Misery. Thank you, everyone. Yeah. All right, guys. Have a great one. Bye.